Hi everyone, hope you well. I don't know why I'm doing a live nearly at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I just can't sleep, so I thought why not? So, how are we all doing today? I was thinking about Dana White earlier, I don't know why, but imagine if Dana White didn't, wasn't the president of the UFC, but don't forget when he took over, that the UFC was basically a non basically the UFC didn't make any money at all, and imagine having to be the figurehead of the company for all the years when people called it human cockfighting or whatever they called it, and imagine all the years that you had to take a load of shit for for doing it, and that and imagine what it must have felt like when they got on pay per view for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but you know what I mean, like actually become a regular pay per view thing. And imagine what it must have been like when they got on Fox Sport for the first time. And you can say what you want about Dana White. I personally think he's an arsehole, to be honest. But you can't deny he certainly he certainly left his mark on the sport. Some people would say that's a good thing, other people would say that's a bad thing. I think it depends what sort of context it's in terms of raising the profile of the sport. I think if they had less I think if they had less charismatic president, I don't think it would have worked. Because imagine if they had a president that was just okay. We're gonna see some lovely fights. People would have been like, okay, but because Dana White is such a person, he's such a personality in his own right. It drew people into the UFC. Uh, and and obviously he's had some memorable rivalries with people like Tito Ortiz, and just so many times Dana White has screwed over fighters. But there's also been times where I think Dana White has been more than has probably been very kind to certain fighters, and they've stabbed him in the back, and he's made some decisions where you basically roll your eyes, like CM Punk in the UFC. As some of you may know, I'm a big wrestling fan, but even I didn't want to see CM Punk in the UFC. Now, as I say, he's made some stupid remarks over the years when he called Cyborg Anderson Silva. That aged very well. So as I say, he's made some stupid comments, but he's also done a lot of good for the sport. So, so I would like to know what you think about Dana White. I was also thinking about Frank Warren, the boxing promoter, because in the 90s and in the early 2000s and even in the mid 2010s, I would say Frank Warren was one of the biggest promoters in the UK. If you are a fighter in the UK and if you had any sort of name, you were gonna you were gonna go with Frank Warren. At one point, I believe he had Prince Nassim Hamid, he had Ricky Hatton, and he had Amir Khan when he first started his pro career. Just them names alone are I, I would say I would say they, I would say they're legends in UK boxing, and obviously he's had so many more people on his roster. but in 2022, he just seems very outdated to me. When you listen to him and when you listen to Eddie Hearn, you can tell Eddie's a lot more current. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Eddie's that current. But in comparison to Frank Warren, he's not that current. But obviously Frank Warren is a lot older than Eddie's, and obviously Eddie. I don't want to say he, he had a, he had he had Reddit. He had he had because obviously what I'm trying to say is because Eddie took over from his dad, he had a bit of an easier start in some ways, but obviously in other ways he probably had a harder start. And obviously Eddie had to prove to people that he could promote people well, and he wasn't just Barry's, and he wasn't just Barry and son. So obviously they both had to come up and earn the stripes. And obviously, I can't remember what year it was, but but for him to come back from being shot, I, I think it was outside of a boxing event where he got a shot. So yeah, all so yeah, Frank Warren's a legendary promoter, but I just feel like nowadays, I just feel like it comes across as really old and outdated, and I believe his sons do most of it now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the Premier League this weekend. I don't, I'm just happy the internationals are over. I hate the internationals because half of the time, I don't really care unless it's like the World Cup or the Euros. I'm not interested, and even when it is the World Cup, because of the time difference, I'm probably not. I'm probably not going to be that bothered, to be honest, unless I'm like how I am tonight, where I'm just wired and I can't relax. Then I probably will stick it on. But if I'm tired, then I'm probably not going to watch it. I'm not stopping up till 2 in the morning just to watch crappy England play under crap Southgate. Let's be honest. But he's done well, but I don't. If if we were gonna win anything, obviously we would have beaten Italy, and the fact that most of that England squad was exactly the same as it was in Italy shows shows that he hasn't learned anything as a manager. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but will he actually win anything with England? I don't think so. Obviously, I know being a manager of a football team is not easy, but I just think England could be doing a lot better than what they are. And to be honest, these these players cycle are coming to an end. To be honest, um, like if you're not careful, if you don't if you don't get some new blood in there straight away, then you end up running the risk of where you're aging squad in the next couple of tournaments if you don't get some new blood in there. So yeah. So I'm 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 doing good, mate. as I, s- as I, s- as I said in the beginning, I don't know why I'm doing this at nearly 3 in the morning, but I'm just wired. So when I mean I'm wired, I just mean I'm not. I'm for some reason I'm just like wide awake. Well, I know why. I know why I'm wide awake. I spent most of the day asleep, but there you go. But anyway, I'm good. How are you? So, so, so I want to move. I want to move on to talk about. I want to move on to talk about some wrestling stuff. Just quickly, I'm loving the bloodline and Sami Zayn stuff. That's really good stuff. I'm not enjoying. I'm not enjoying. I'm not enjoying the White Rabbit stuff. I just think that's gonna be underwhelming, and a lot of Bray Wyatt's personas are. I appreciate Bray Wyatt's creativity, but I just think a lot of the time he tried to overcomplicate it, and he tried to make it like a proper story, and unfortunately, the way the way wrestling TV works, I don't think I don't think you can tell them stories enough. No, I really don't. As I said, I appreciate the creativity, but I just don't think I just don't think that sort of storytelling works on mainstream wrestling TV. It comes across as very, I don't know what the right word is, but it just comes across as very corny to me. Obvi- Obviously, there's an audience for it, so fair play. But to me, it comes across as very corny. So, so when it comes to AEW, obviously, John Moxley's the champion once again. And to be honest with you, I, I, I have no problem with Moxley as champ because if they would have gave it to Danielson just to give it to MJF, I think, I think, I don't think that would have. I just feel like when when Brian gets the belt, he should have a long reign, and obviously Moxley's had it for had it a number of times. So if he has a short reign, it won't really. I don't think it would hurt him as much as it would Danielson. Good, good night, mate. Thank you for coming along. So anyway, as I was saying, I just don't think it would hurt Moxley as much if he had a short reign. Because obviously he's had multiple reigns at this point, and Danielson, that would have been his first reign, and I don't want Danielson's first reign to be a transitional champion to MJF. To be honest, I would have kept it on Moxley this whole time. Forget forget about that CM Punk forget about that CM Punk guy. In all seriousness, I've got to be honest, even before the whole CM Punk incident with the Elite, I wasn't really enjoying CM Punk in AEW, to be honest. He was still doing some good work, don't get me wrong, but I just did not enjoy CM Punk. So if he doesn't come back in 8 months, if he doesn't, I'm not going to be heartbroken. I'm really not. Like when he made his return, I understood why people were so into it. Because obviously he hasn't he hasn't been in a wrestling capacity for 7 years. So I understood when he returned why people were interested. I really did, and I understood why people were emotional. I did, but for me, I was like, okay, great stuff. CM Punk is back, but I didn't have the same emotional high that some people did, and I say that's fine. But I just felt like okay, CM Punk great, but great addition to the roster. But I did not have the emotional connection as some people did, and and I grew I grew up on CM Punk. But I think if I'm being 100% honest with you, I think what it was, I think what it was for 7 years we for 7 years we had CM Punk every single week no matter what no matter what show you were watching, you heard CM Punk, and I think over the time, I think I developed, I think I developed, I don't know what the right word is, but I think I developed a thing where I didn't really care about him. I didn't really care about him after a while because that's all I heard on every single show. Obviously, I understood why they were doing it, especially at WWE shows. But when I heard it on other shows, I was like, "Can we, can we get rid of that chant?" Because it got my blooming nerves, and it made me dislike CM Punk. And before that, I used to love CM Punk, but just that old chant really pissed me off. And anyway, and when I think about this whole thing, the way I the way I look at it is, if you bring somebody in, and you have to be aware what they're like, and this is not a new thing. CM Punk has done this wherever he's gone, whether that's Ring of Honor, whether that's WWE, or wherever he goes. Eventually eventually he gets upset about something, and then he wants to leave. So, like, obviously 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 I'm not gonna comment on the whole on the whole Colt Cabana and CM Punk stuff, because I don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong, but from what but just just how I feel about the whole CM Punk press conference. I just felt it made everybody look dumb. It made CM Punk look like it just made him look like a moaning little bitch. To be honest, it made it made Tony Khan look like a clown. But I've always said Tony's a clown anyway. And the elite are the elite. Um, to be honest, the only real member of the elite that I genuinely genuinely like is probably Kenny Omega. I like the young Bucks. I really do. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I've missed them on TV. I really haven't. But I miss Kenny on TV. 'Cause literally we just got Kenny back from his injury, and now he's gone again. I understand why they had to suspend everybody involved. Obviously, you can't be having a fight. You can't be having a fight in the locker room like that. So I understand why they had to suspend them all. I get that, but I just if only one person comes back, I would want it to be Kenny Omega. The rest of them, can go for all I care. And as I say, I like the Bucks, but I just don't feel like we need. I just don't feel like I'm gonna really miss the Bucks. Like I miss Kenny Omega. So you know what? So moving away from wrestling, I didn't expect to go that long on. I, di- I didn't expect to go that long on wrestling, but moving away from that, um, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I remember. I remember. I'm I, I'm gonna I'm gonna try and watch a couple of I'm gonna try and watch a couple of Marvel series because I'm very behind on that, and I would like to talk about it on stream sometime. So, out of the ones that have been released, what ones would you recommend me to watch first? If you've watched them, of course. Like either let me know in the live chat, or let me know in the comments below. Hello, hello, mate. So, I don't know how many people would like this on the playback because it is very wrestling centric. So, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, mate. What would your favorite Spider Spider Man movie? For me, just for the nostalgia, it has to be the first one or the second one for me, just for the nostalgia. But if I'm being honest, they're probably some of the worst ones. But I just like them, as I said, for the nostalgia. All right, mate. So yeah, so I don't know how many people are gonna like this on the playback. Cause I do talk quite a lot of wrestling stuff. But that's but that's but that's but that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. So there you go. So. Uh, So I don't know what else I really want to talk about, to be honest. I mean I mean I'm really looking for. Oh, there is one thing I wanted to talk about. I wanna start doing some Bellator content. That's what I wanna do. That's what I wanna do. But I wanna get I want to get familiar with the Bellator product first. So I would start doing some Bellator stuff. But as I say, I need to get familiar with the Bellator product. That 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 that's That's very cool. I didn't really like that one, to be honest. I like the first two, but and like the like the original three movies that they did with Tobey Maguire. I think the first one was okay, it was decent. The second one was really good, and then the third one was pretty crap. To be honest, you could tell I felt Tobey Maguire was not even trying in the third one. So, so thank you for watching. I'm, I don't know whether to call this chat with Ant, because if I give it a name, then I feel like people are gonna expect a certain quality, and I don't want this to be like a series that I literally want to jump on and just talk to you for a bit, like I've done tonight. But if I give it a name, then people are gonna expect a certain quality. What do you think? Am I talking crap? Or do you think I should call it? Do you think I should call it that? So anyway, I'm just rambling now, to be honest. So thank you for watching, and uh, I didn't expect this many people to be up. To be honest. So thank you very much. Before that, I'll be interested to see where people are watching from. I know I've only got one or two viewers, but I would be interested to see where you're watching from, and even on the playback, let me know in the comments where you're from. Obviously, you don't have to give me a specific address, but you know what I mean. Like what country are you watching from? But bye, mate. Bye. So, so thank you very much, and I will speak to you later. And I appreciate everybody that's tuned in live. Honestly, I did not expect many people at at 3 o'clock in the morning. So there we go. Thank you very much, and I will speak to you later. And if you like football, then I did a North London derby video earlier, so go and check that out if you like football stuff. When I'm in football, I obviously mean soccer for, for the American or for the American audience, if you like that. So thank you very much, and I will speak to you later. Thank you for your love and support. Have a good night, everyone, or whatever time it is for you. Good night. Bye bye. See ya.